Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be time, or it is time, to do a WIP and Chat. I actually just finished filming some how-to videos on loading my putty and sticky wax specifically. I've had a few people request a new video. I have one already, but I needed to update it a little bit and be a little bit more in depth, I guess. More tips and tricks. I am actually right now using a putty that I just reformulated. Well, I've been reformulating this for 3 months. Yeah, so this is the new one. This is actually thicker than what you would receive, but just FYI, the amount of putty I sell in my store is actually more or equal to what everyone else does, and I sell it for cheaper. So I always find it interesting when I get a comment that it's not enough. This amount right here, which I'm using for testing only, this could go through 10, 12 paintings, to be honest. This is an outrageous amount of putty. But this is the new one I'm working on. I'm playing around with it, trying to make it work better in warmer temperatures. So I will be testing it probably for the next few weeks, and then also testing, I'm going to send it to a few people who live in humid areas and see what results they get, because I have no humidity here. This is Utah. We are a desert. So yeah, I need to have a few people test it out where, you know, they actually get some moisture in the air, and then we will see. So I'm hoping I can release this one soon, especially because with summer and the humidity kicking up in places like Florida and all that, I definitely want to get it out. So yep, I'm playing around with it now. It's working pretty good. It's still soft, but the reason I have it soft is because all of my products are made for light pressure, to save your hands and sanity. But oops, I grabbed too many for that one. We will see how this one works out. And I may end up tweaking it a few more times before I officially release it. So yeah, it's been a busy few weeks. My daughter's dance competitions are finally over. I've realized I am not cut out to be a dance mom, but I'm learning to become one. It's just amazing how they take all day. Like, oops, I dropped. You have like no Saturday at all. Even if your like kids competition ends at like 3, you still gotta come back like at 9 o'clock at night for awards. It's just, it's all day no matter what. So yeah, it's been a learning curve for me to get used to that. And then she did her last competition. They did really good through the whole competition season, which was nice. Good way for her to, you know, have a first time experience. And then she's doing tryouts next week. They make you try out every year. She'll be on a team, but you're trying out to see what team you're placed on. And then of course they will be like determining what routines and what stuff like that, and then the schedule. So not much of a reprieve. Like, I think they close down for like 2 weeks and then we go back to it. So here I am, but I've been busy with work, things with the store. My mother's moving back home to California, so you know, everything's going on with that. So yeah, and then my son's spring soccer season is still underway. And the kids aren't out of school yet. I think next week is the last week. Ugh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for some... It's just, I don't feel like I've had enough alone time. All the traveling with my job hasn't helped. But I won't be traveling as much anymore. So that'll be nice, I think. But yeah, I've been trying to get back to making video content on all my channels because I really love creating YouTube videos. It's kind of like my creative outlet, And I just, I don't feel like I've been able to do that lately because, you know, between work or whatever else I'm dealing with. So it's like one day I'll have to decide, okay, am I going to film content or do something for Etsy? And this is on top of after I finish working my full-time job for the day. And then I haven't been coloring as much, so it's hard to make adult coloring content just because I've been diamond painting a lot. And it's because I've just been really stressed, and diamond painting, it doesn't require the same thinking as adult coloring. Like, adult coloring is still relaxing, but I have to sit there and think, like, color palettes, shading. There's more thought required than diamond painting, that's for sure. I mean, diamond painting, I just follow the grid, pick up my colors, and get on my way. There's not much else to it, right? I'm currently working on this one called Creekside Magic. It's from Diamond Art Club. I'm doing it for Mermaid. I want to finish it today, if not tomorrow at the latest, because I want to get started on another one for Mermaid. Then I'm also bummed because I haven't really colored anything for Mermaid adult coloring wise, and every year I do my nails just for Mermaid. So I'm like, oh, I need to do something. But like I said, I've been kind of struggling, and I've been deciding what I want to do with my store. I am probably going to remove wax melts. I really enjoy doing them. Customers are always happy with wax melts, so it's kind of nice too. But they do take up a lot of time, and profit-wise versus your time investment, it's too much. But it's funny because I'll cut them and then I'll miss making them, so I re-add them, and then I get busy and I'm like, why did I do that? It's like a constant struggle of mine. I don't know. I really gotta pick a path and roll with it, I guess. But I've been reading a lot. So I finished the ACOTAR series a long time ago, and then I started From Blood and Ash. And so I've been diamond painting a ton, so I listen to audiobooks, and then I read the Kindle at night or whatever. And so From Blood and Ash started out great. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I like this one. But the pacing started to get really off. Like, things were dragging out, and I don't want to give spoilers, but then I got to the point where I was like, okay, what the heck? We just finished book 1, and then when I got onto book 2, nothing really of importance happened that couldn't have just been added to book 1. And then book 3, oh my gosh, that's when I started to lose it. I was like, book 2 and 3 should have been combined for 1. And yeah, so I've been like looking up on like Reddit and other sites, you know, hey, what would you read if you just finished ACOTAR and you loved it? And I've been taking up a lot of the suggestions, but I'll go to read them and I'm like, it's like some of them are just cheesy. And then I realized there's not a lot of books out there in the fantasy romance genre, is there? So I'm really like itching inside. So yeah, I've been struggling to find a new book. Like, I'll start reading one and I'm like, yeah, this is okay, but just doesn't quite hit all the elements. So like, I loved ACOTAR. If you don't know what that means, by the way, it's A Court of Thorn and Roses. Totally should read it if you've not. I loved the writing. Sarah J. Maas is like an amazing writer. I loved the romance in it. It was tasteful, and you know, some of it was kind of sexy. Hey, I gotta live vicariously through people here. But it was done really well. And then I wasn't a fan of Throne of Glass, but that's because it's almost more young adult in a way. I don't know if others feel that same way, but that's how it makes me feel. It just didn't didn't have the same level as A Court of Thorn and Roses, which is why I started reading From Blood and Ash. And I'm still with it, like I'm about to start book 4, but I have to take breaks because the author just drags it out. And then I tried her prequel series, because some people said the prequel was better, and I agree, it's way better written, but then she starts doing the same freaking mistake and starts dragging that one out. Like, had she just kept with the pacing she started with that one, oh my god, it would have been the best book ever. But because she decided she was going to drag it out, and we already know the end game of that book, by the way, because it's given away in Blood and Ash. So why are we dragging this out? So I got really flustered, and I was just angry. So I hadn't even gotten through book 3 of the prequel. And then, yeah, I've just gone through, like, several that I've seen on Reddit, and I'm about to start a, what is it? A Court of Winter? Winter Court? I don't know. It's one of the ones that were recommended. I just downloaded it. But I'm itching to find something that fills the void. Good writing, not tacky. Some of the ones I've come across are incredibly tacky. I'm just like, ugh. And I'm not, I have to take a drink of my coffee. I really hate harping on authors because I am writing a book myself and I am by no means some amazing award-winning author. I'm not even published yet. But it has made me really rethink my strategy with my books because I'm sitting here like, I can't find a freaking fantasy romance book that checks all the boxes for me or keeps me entertained or creates that level of character connection that like ACOTAR did, and just good writing in general, and not, for the Pete's sake, dragging a book out that does not need to drag out as long as it is. But yeah, so I've been working on my book. I actually have 3 books underway. Let me explain that. So I am a pantser writer. If you don't know what that is, it's someone who doesn't sit there and plot and plan. There's often a big debate between plotzers and, did I just say plotzers? Plotters and pantsers. There's quite a few famous authors that are pantsers. It's just a unique style. Stephen King is actually one of the most famous. He does not plan his stories. He gets an idea in his head and he literally sits down and just writes nonstop. Doesn't even care if, oops, I just dropped a bunch of drills. He doesn't even care if it like totally changes midway through, or a character's name changes, or the character just suddenly disappears 3 chapters in. Because when he goes back to edit and rewrite, because his first draft is almost like him plotting it in a way, but he's actually writing a lot of the core story. And then he goes back and he kind of fixes those, you know, those huge pivots he decided to make as the story progressed and developed. And that's more my style too. I just want to sit down and let it develop, let the characters develop. Sometimes a character starts out as, oh, this is going to be my main character. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to kill off this character. Or this is now a bad guy. Or I'm going to completely change their name or I take them and move them to a different story. Because I'm like, you know what? This character would be so much better in my other book. So yes, I have a few going. And the reason I have a few is like, I'll be working on it. I'll be really into it. And then I kind of just pause for a minute thinking, like, where do I want this to go? Or I'm just trying to think of like that event, like something needs to happen, but I can't figure out what needs to happen. So I'm just stuck on it. So I do have 3 currently in the works, and all of them will end up probably being series, just because fantasy books are really hard to not be series. Now, am I going to drag them out? No. If it needs to be just 2 books, it'll be 2 books. But I've been working on them and kind of playing with some different ideas. One is a dark fantasy. Anyone who's into fantasy romance books has probably heard of dark fantasy romance. Unfortunately, the term has been misused quite a bit. A lot of books are labeled as dark fantasy romance, and then you read it and you're like, yeah, that's not a dark fantasy romance. So, to each their own on that definition, but I do have one that is a dark fantasy that I'm working on, and it's kind of going to be interesting. I am really worried I'm going to be short on this color. It's going to be interesting because in this one, the main character is actually the bad guy, or bad girl, I should say. But, yep, I'm writing it from the point of view of the bad person. So it's going to be kind of fun. And that one I'm actually having a lot of fun with, but I have to be in a certain mood to write it. I've noticed, to embrace that evil character that I'm trying to create. And then also, you know, bring it across as, and there is no redeeming arc, by the way. I'm not doing the bad character, you know, suddenly redeems themselves. Nope, they stay bad, but they're bad for a reason. But then, yeah. So that one is taking a little longer, but it's the funnest one to work on, especially when I like really get into it or I have time to work it out, and I'm just like, oh, it's so fun. It's like embracing the evil in yourself, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. We all have a dark side. I guess it's better I put it in print than anywhere else, but so yeah, I've been working on those, but I'm in a rough spot with books. I'd love to hear some book suggestions in the fantasy romance genre. I love fantasy in general, but I really love fantasy romance. A gal has to live vicariously somehow. So I would love suggestions there. No young adult ones though, please. It's just not my style, I guess. I actually enjoy when they're more realistic. Even like cursing. Because I'm like, well, I do that in real life, so that's pretty on point with me. So yeah, no young adult ones, but if you got suggestions, let me know. And then let me know, like, your thoughts. Like, what drew you to it, you know? Have you read Akotar? What do you think in comparison to that? Or From Blood and Ash? I would love to know if any of you also feel like From Blood and Ash is just taking it too far. The author has some great writing skills. It's just her ability to drag out a story is like, holy crap. But it's published, so hey. But it's just like, she came along with a great story idea, and she was like, I'm just gonna keep milking this for like 8 books. I don't even know how many books it's gonna end at, because, yeah, it's just frustrating. But I definitely need some book suggestions. I get really antsy not having any books to read. And then last night, because I haven't watched TV in a while, but Bridgerton finally came out with season 3 years later. I need to change out my putty. So I was like really excited that Bridgerton came out, but they're releasing it in 2 parts. So I'm sitting there telling myself I cannot start it yet. I must wait until the other half comes out because I'm too impatient. I can't sit there and wait for the second half, which I think is what, May 31st? I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait. Part of me was like, ooh, I could rewatch season 1 and 2 and get all like ready for it. But instead, last night I decided out of nowhere to turn on Outlander because I've heard a lot about it and they have season 7 out. So I saw the first episode and it's not too bad. Curious to see where it goes. I even thought about reading the Outlander books. I just hadn't really gotten, for some reason they hadn't sparked my interest, but maybe watching the show will. So I'm watching that right now until Bridgerton releases the full season 3. I mean, we already know Colin and Penelope get together if you've read the books. So, and granted they do, you know, with the show they take some creative leeway, but they don't stray from the end game, thank goodness. Otherwise I think some people would get a little upset. But I just don't want to watch it yet. I'm dying. I have to like avoid social media in case someone says, hey, did you see this happen? I'll be like, crap. Because I don't know how much they deviated in this one from the books. I read all but the last book, which is Gregory's story. They're actually not too bad, but the author does repeat the same kind of little thing there, I've noticed. Still, love every single one of them. And I just love the whole, how it's set up for you're following each sibling's story. I was really, really bummed, though, that they skipped over Benedict and went with Colin and Penelope. Because Benedict's story is so cute. Like, I want that one. And I'm kind of afraid season 4 won't be Benedict's story because the new Francesca is in the TV show. So, like, I'm almost thinking they're going to jump on Francesca's story, possibly. I don't know. I'd love to know what you think, if you're worried about the same thing. I want freaking Benedict's story, because I love Benedict. Love Benedict. It's like one of my favorites. I really don't like Anthony. I mean, he redeemed himself with Kate a little bit, but I like Kate and not Anthony. So, but yeah, I love Benedict. And so I was really bummed when that wasn't the next one, because I was like, dang it, I've read that book twice now. It's so pretty. So I'm hoping that will be the next one, but I have a feeling Francesca's story is going to roll out, and I won't say why specifically, but it's because her story actually takes place over time, whereas a lot of the other, love matches don't span over time. So that's why I think the next something with her will get introduced, and they'll either go tackle it full force or not. I don't know, but yeah, hers does kind of have a longer storyline than the others, but I guess we'll see. Either way, very interested. So I'm just sitting here itching because I'm like, I need a show to watch or a book to read. I need something to occupy my mind. Problem is if I get into TV shows, I end up often not diamond painting as much, because I usually watch TV in bed, and that's not really good for diamond painting. So yeah, I'm trying to, I want an audiobook to listen to so that I can keep just on this crazy pace of diamond paintings I've been doing. I've completed a lot if you've seen my post reviews. And this one here, when did I start this? Let me pull out my little logbook. So I started this one, on the 29th of April. I thought I started it May 1st, but I then traveled for about a week for work, so I lost some time, but I'm literally on the last bottom half of this. So like I said, I plan to finish this one, and then I'm debating between a cute Mystic Art Mirrors one. I also got another one that I need to show in my haul. So there's a few options for Mermaid. I want to color something for Mermaid too. Too many hobbies, too many jobs, too many projects, too many kids in sports, and one of me. And it's all starting to catch up. So yeah, I guess that's my big problem in life. Not enough of me to go around. But I'm hoping this summer we'll have a little time, not much, because my son's soccer tournaments go all crazy, but I just wanted to hop in, say hello, say what I've been up to, because I feel like all I've done is post reviews, because I've just been kind of under a lot of stress, so I've just been kind of secluded and listening to audiobooks and working on my books. and then just like not really doing much else. I usually did the WIP and Chats on my coloring channel, but I've decided I'm going to stop doing them on the coloring channel. So if you follow my coloring channel and you enjoy the WIP and Chats, you'll want to just come over here because this is where they're going to be placed so that I can make room for different content on my coloring channel. So just FYI on that, especially because lately all I've been doing is diamond painting, so it just makes more sense to do a WIP and Chat when I'm continually on a WIP in diamond painting. But before I go, I'm keeping this short. I never know how long people like these. So in fact, if you want to share some insight on how long you like these, that'd be great. But let me show you this one because it's coming along quite nice. Okay, I'm gonna lift up my camera a little. Okay, got my headphones in the way because I'm gonna put on an audiobook, but look at this lovely kit. I'll move that plastic. So I've done quite a bit. I'm really at the end here. The ABs, the colors, they're all so pretty. I think everything's turning out quite nice. We got ABs throughout. Hang on, it dips down on the back of my desk. But yeah, there's ABs all throughout her little fins, which are cute. Interesting though, it's up top but not on the bottom. And then yeah, I am literally on this last stretch. I just have this square and then these two here, and then I'm done with this one, so not much left. I want to finish it out so that I can pick up whatever one is going to be next. I have so many mermaid ones to choose from. It's just I want to finish them during Mermaid. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this one. This is a newer one from Molly Harrison, but I like this kit. It's been going pretty smoothly. So, well, it was great chatting with all of you, and hopefully we will do this again soon. So until next time, take care. Bye now.